Hi guys, welcome back to Chess the Matthew. So on this video, we will tackle about my game using the Goldsmith defense. So here my opponent, which is 1900 rating, plays e4 and it allows me to play the Goldsmith defense. So after h5, my opponent plays d3, trying to open lines and also support his e4. Here I'll try to contest his control on center with c6 because after f4 I able to play d5 in which it attacks now the center of white, which is the e4. Here he plays queen f3 and I respond with a developing move with knight f6 and h3. He avoids some knight hop on g4 or bishop g4 and I put my queen on b6, eyeing to stop his dark squared bishop to be developed via d2 or e3 because his bishop is the only supporter of his b2 pawn. So he attack my knight, I put my knight into safe square, and again he developed. I open some lines for my dark squared bishop. He tries to control the light squared diagonal, in which after g3 he was able now to play bishop g2 in the future. So I play bishop to7 as my idea. So here he boosted some controls on the dark square via d4. I rewrote my knight here to e6, and after, let's say, b3, freeing his bishop on c1, I play f5, and after queen c3, knight e6. So my knight now is on a success on controlling the center on a6 squared. Plays bishop to a3, a developing move, and I try to attack his rook so that he can no longer castle on the king side if he move his rook. So I was in a success for my bishop e4. So after h4, trying to pressure the king side with bishop h6, he just developed, and again I develop also my knight on queen side, trying to complete my development if at some point I able to castle and connect my rooks. So here stop any knight b4 hop. So I put my rook c8, trying to let my king will castle on the king side. If here, because his king is obviously will castle on the queen side, capture my bishop, I recapture, and here he tries a trick which is after d5 it attacks my knight on e6 and also my queen on b6, in which it puts some double attacks, but I able to respond with a defense because after knight e2 c5 I able to stop both attacks of white, and after here b4 trying to pressure my knight because after my knight will be moved then he can able to capture my queen, but after that still I can capture his queen also. So after knight takes c3, here I capture his bishop and we go for some exchanges, and here he capture my pawn, I capture again, and after he capture my e4, I still able to capture some pawns with bishop takes f4, attacking his rook on h2, and also again gaining some material with bishop takes e5 and again attacking his rook. And after here he castle, so we shall see on this position that he has only 5 pawns versus 6 pawns. So here it was obvious that I have an upper hand because of material advantage. So here I castle also, and here trying to have some tricks na discovered attack if he moves his knight, and he can attack my undefended bishop on e5. Here I double up my rooks, eyeing to c2, and here he tries to force my bishop, but after check and here king move, he plays g5, stopping pawn advance. I play f5, attacking his knight, and after capture, we shall see on this position that Still, I have an upper hand because I have material advantage. He gives check, escape to the check. Here, after c3 again, it is a blunder move because the only defender of the c3 pawn is the knight and king. So after I attack his knight and his knight will be moved, then the only defender of the pawn is the king. So I have two rooks, so nothing to worry. So here, attack my defended bishop, I escape, again attack, and he able to capture some of my pawns, but that was my idea to play king g7 so I can put my bishop on f6 to control the long dark squared diagonal, and with also an idea of discovered attack. So he covered with knight, I capture, and after some exchanges, still I able here to capitalize on this position with maintaining my material advantage. So I capture my pawn and I try to promote my pawn, so provoking some exchanges. Here he just defend his rook, but still I able to promote my pawn after h2 and capture, because after I promote with queen, still I have an upper hand with a huge material advantage. So after here, he captured my g7, king moves, and rook moves. Here, I managed to win via checkmate in 2 moves. So it all starts with the move queen c1 check, and after the move king to b3, here after queen to c2, it's already now a checkmate. So I win with the so-called Goldsmith defense. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.